After watching all these teams play several games, tournament atmosphere against good teams, well, I don't know if there's anybody that can hang with Memphis. They can play up-tempo, they can shoot the ball, they rebound, they pass. They have an amazing point guard. Derrick Rose is an amazing point guard. Amazing athlete. I mean, this guy finishes around the basket like he's a 6'8", a small forward, and he's a point guard. Amazing, incredible athlete, Derrick Rose, in his first year of college basketball. Smidog in the chat room wants to know, could this be the best Final Four in history? Now, a lot of people are throwing that around. I've heard a lot of people throwing that around. I'm going to have to say, since I've been alive, well, yeah. I mean, how could this not be? 4 number 1 seeds? Give me one better then. I mean, the 4 best teams in the country are meeting up in the Final Four for the first time ever. When could it ever have been better than that? I think it has to be. It has to be by default. And these guys, these number 1s are clear-cut number 1s. I believe. I believe that the committee got it right when they selected these 4 to be the number 1 seeds. Look at all the 2s. The only other 2 seed that, I mean, Tennessee, Texas, and Georgetown, didn't we always kind of feel like those guys were not quite the caliber of teams as the number 1s? I mean, we've kind of felt like that all season, right? They could hang with them. They could be on the same court and have a good game, possibly even win, like we saw Tennessee beat Memphis. But still, all season long, we've kind of felt like the 2 seeds, just not quite as good as these top-tier teams. Just not quite. I mean, the 4 number 1s are the 4 best teams in the country. It just so happens that they're the 4 teams that have kept it together the whole tournament. And they've proved it. They've proved that they're the best teams in the country. Easily. So is this the best Final Four ever? Oh, yeah. I think so. Obviously, my opinions are way off quite a bit. The things I think are typically wrong. But I honestly believe this is, and I think it'll play out like that. I think these next 2 games that we're going to see this weekend coming up are going to be amazing. And there will probably, one of these games, if not both, will probably go to overtime. These teams are just they're just so good. The only thing I'm thinking, and I know a lot of people are saying that Kansas will play much better against UNC this weekend coming up than they did last weekend, because last weekend they were trying primarily to get the Final Four monkey off their back. They were just trying to get over that hurdle. Bill Self, never been to a Final Four. All right, gets bounced out in the Elite Eight almost traditionally, almost on a yearly basis. Bill Self bows out in the Elite Eight, no matter where he's coaching. So it was a gigantic hurdle, no matter who they were playing, just to get to the Final Four. So a lot of people are saying, now that they have the pressure of getting past the Elite Eight off of their back, off their shoulders, that they're going to really come out and play some good basketball against North Carolina this weekend. Hey, I'm not arguing the fact that Kansas will step up and play some good hoops, but I still don't think that they're on the same level as North Carolina. I don't. I really don't. I like North Carolina in that game. That is about the only thing I'm sure about in this Final Four, is that I like North Carolina over Kansas, so write it down, Kansas wins. Because I like North Carolina, and I don't know jack about this stupid tournament. But I honestly, do you think North Carolina would have struggled so hard with Davidson? Because really, Davidson gave Kansas everything they could handle. They were lucky to get out of there with that one. They were lucky to get out of there with a win over Davidson. We nearly saw a 10 seed in the Final Four with UNC. We nearly saw 3 1s and a 10. Kansas almost couldn't get the job done. You know what, that's kind of scary a little bit. if you're a Kansas fan. It's got to scare you. Not that there's anything wrong with Davidson. I mean, they were on some kind of crazy winning streak starting in the regular season. They didn't really play anybody that tough, but they went to the tournament playing well, very well. Stephen Curry, who was nicknamed Steph by all the announcers and commentators over the weekend. I, as a man, would not want to ever be called Steph, which I take as a shortened version of the name Stephanie. Am I right? They're the only people I've ever heard called Steph. People named Stephanie. If I were him, I'd say, just keep it Stephen. Or even Stephen. I mean, what? Switch it up. Pronounce it like it's spelled. I don't know. But this kid went nuts in the tournament. Absolutely on a scoring frenzy. But in this last game against Kansas, I know he had quite a few points, but he jacked up like 30 shots. I mean, he scored some points. I think almost 30 points, but he literally put up almost 30 shots, I believe. Something ridiculous. Only hit like 7 or 8 of them. He was just firing away, gunning. And I watched the game, and I was like, kid, you got to stop shooting. There was that, there was that kid. Okay, Smidog points something out to me. Carolina beat Davidson by only 4 in the regular season. Okay, I did not have that stat in front of me. How long ago was that? When did they play? When did they play? Because if it was early in the regular season, that doesn't count. If it was before, let's see, what's today? If it was before January 31st, it doesn't count. I mean, second half of the year, a team really, really comes together. And also, was Ty Lawson there? Was Ty Lawson playing when Carolina beat Davidson? Was he injured then? Makes a big difference. I mean, that's their point guard. That's their lead.